A developing story out of Polk County where a motorcyclist dies after hitting a Florida Highway Patrol car on I-4. FHP says a trooper was helping a road crew close a lane for repairs when he drove into the path of the motorcyclist, who fell off of his Harley Davidson and was then hit by a semi-tractor trailer. The motorcyclist died at the scene, and minutes ago, the FHP told us the investigation into this crash could last 3 or more months.
All right, so state trooper pulls out in front of motorcycle. Motorcycle flies off, causes him to get struck by a tractor trailer. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this. So let me go ahead and mention, I'm going to break this down between the trooper, the motorcyclist, all the way down to the truck driver. Now, let me just educate you guys on Interstate 4, because I know some of you guys might not be familiar with this. So basically, Interstate 4 is also the deadliest highway in America. That's for another video. But it basically it starts from downtown Tampa, and then it ends right where 95 meet in Daytona. Now, I drive Interstate 4 frequently, especially when I do these runs at night. So I'm very familiar where this accident happened. They've been doing construction in this part of town for a while, so I know exactly what they're talking about. So this particular section is 3 lanes, all the way up until you get to Kissimmee, Orlando area. So it's 3 lanes. Now it says the trooper was working the construction zone, which means he would have been all the way in the far right lane. And it says he pulled out. Now, where exactly did he pull out? Did he pull out from the right lane into the middle lane, which wouldn't have made sense because, like I said, I run this interstate pretty frequently, and it's usually just 1 lane closed. So where was he pulling out from? Now, the second question is, did the trooper have his lights on? Now, even though he's in a construction zone, I've seen troopers not have their lights on. Was his lights on? Was the trooper paying attention before he just pulled out? That's something you have to ask yourself. Was he paying attention? Now, as far as the motorcycle, we all know motorcycles, it's not often that you see them going the speed limit. They're usually doing triple digits, so was the guy on the motorcycle, was he speeding? Was he doing the speed limit? They say he was on a Harley, but again, I've seen plenty of Harleys, hauling ass on an interstate. So was he doing the speed limit? Did he see his lights? And if he did see his lights, why didn't he move over? Because we have that move over law. Why didn't he move over? Was he able to move over? So these are just a bunch of things you got to ask yourself. Now, what I'm about to say, guys, I'm sure some of you guys won't like what I'm about to say. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Now, I'm the type of person, I support law enforcement 100%. When they're right, when they're in the right, I support them. When they're in the wrong, I won't support it. When 4-wheelers are in the wrong, I don't support it. But when they're not at fault, I will support them. Truck drivers, same thing. When I know we're in the wrong, I will stand up and say, you're wrong. When that person's right, I will say they're right. So let's talk about the truck driver, because I already know how this is going to try to play out. They're going to try to put this on the truck driver. I am willing to bet a paycheck on it. They're not going to put that trooper under the fire. I'm willing to bet. Now let me go to just jump and say, because of this investigation, that truck driver is out of a job for 3 months pending this investigation. And I saw the truck on the clip, and I'm assuming he's an owner-operator, which means, he's not going to be able to drive. Now, is that trooper, is he out of a job as well? Or is he on paid administrative leave? And that's usually how they do these cops. They put them on leave. Now, I feel like if the truck is at a commission, the trooper should be at a commission as well. Why should the trooper continue to get paid while the truck driver isn't? Now, let's talk about the truck driver. What lane was the truck driver in? Now, this part of I-4, pretty much all of I-4, they have that restriction where we're not allowed to be in that left lane. You could be in the middle lane or the right lane. But since that right lane was closed, what lane was he in? Was he in the middle lane or in the far left lane? Now, I know when they take this to court and everything, they're gonna try to say, and ask, was the driver on his phone? They're gonna try to, they're basically gonna tear that whole truck apart. They're gonna probably inspect his brakes, again, see if he was on his phone. Now, if they believe he should have been able to stop, they're crazy. They're crazy, because 75, or not 75, I-4 is a 65 to 70 mile an hour zone. In that particular section, which was in Auburndale, it's 70. So trooper strikes the motorcycle flies off, hits the truck. How in the world can you expect it? How can you anticipate that to happen? You know? And let's just say the motorcycle was, you know, going fast. That means he's gonna fly off that motorcycle like that. So how is a truck driver able to, how is he able to not hit him? It's not possible, you know? And let's just grant the argument that he did see it ahead of time. Who's to say that there wasn't a car next to him? You know, how would he have been able to get over? You know, so there's so many unanswered questions. So they can't try to pin this on the truck driver. It's not his fault, you know? Now, as far as whose fault it is, you know, it's hard for me to say, because there's so many unanswered questions, you know? There's no way I can know, or anybody can know, if the trooper's lights was on. There's no way to know if the motorcycle was speeding, you know? That hasn't been determined yet, so none of us can determine that, you know? Now, I know some people are gonna probably say, oh, he probably struck that motorcycle on purpose, but then again, let's just say the motorcycle was going well over 100 miles an hour. If you're parked, you won't see that motorcycle until it's up on you, you know, and by then it will have been too late. So I know somebody's gonna say, what do I think? You know, it's hard to say, because there's so many unanswered questions. Now, I'm gonna automatically rule out, it's not the truck driver's fault, you know? It's not. And I'm not just saying that because I drive trucks. I just honestly believe there's nothing that truck driver could have done to prevent that. Now, I know they're gonna say, if he was speeding, you know, they're gonna try to put on him if he was speeding. But like I said, I don't know if he was speeding, because I wasn't there. I'm just giving my opinion on it. But just so many unanswered questions on this one. But I still do feel somebody should be accountable, you know. And I'm sure they're gonna pull up the dash cam on the trooper to see, you know, if he looked, you know, you're supposed to look in your mirror, you know, if he just pulled out. So I don't know, but I don't think it's fair that the truck driver should be out of work for 3 months until this investigation. They say it could take up to 3 months or even longer, but I don't feel like he should be out of work until it's over. You know, especially when it's not his fault, you know. Y'all let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this?